Okay, hello everybody on YouTube. So today the thing I want to talk to you guys about is the perfumes that I kind of have on my wish list for this year. Ones that have been really speaking to me and that I've smelled before or not all of them. I haven't smelled all of them before, but most of them I have. I have like a box that I have a bunch of samples and like little decants in. The first one that I really am looking forward to getting in some kind of incarnation is going to be Delina from Parfums de Marly. I don't know how I'm going to get this. I don't know if I'm just going to get Delina itself. I think eventually that's something I want to do, but in the meantime, my goal is to either get one of the dupes from like a dupe house or get dupes that are from other designers that smell similar. Recently I smelled Very Good Girl at Ulta, and it did smell similar enough that I think that's one I might end up getting instead of spending $300 on Delina, even though it's amazing. I'm not rich enough for that yet. Or possibly the Belle dupe. I really want to try that. I'm so curious about Belle because I've heard so much about them, and I'm really curious about a lot of the dupe houses. So let me know kind of which dupes you guys like for Delina, or just which dupe houses you like in general, because that's something I would like to get into that I really haven't. The next one on my list to get eventually is Poison by Dior. This is the EDT, and this is just, I don't know, this is so cool. This is obviously a vintage fragrance. It's the original Poison, and this is from one of the reformulations, but like, and this to me, it just, you can tell that this is vintage. You can tell that it's 80s. It's a very thick, syrupy, sweet perfume, but it's also like, it smells classy and it's just really pretty and smooth. It's very interesting. The liquid is purple, and I think the bottle is also purple or something like that, and it smells purple. There is kind of this grape vibe you get from it, but it's like very, I don't know, man. It's just a really interesting one, and it's one that I would definitely like to have in my collection, especially since I'm such a fan of Hypnotic Poison and just Dior in general. I love Dior, and I would like to probably own as many Poisons as I possibly can eventually. I don't know. One that I also really love is Dior Homme Intense. This one I actually have coming in the mail. I got it yesterday because there's a tester on FragranceNet that's like a really good price. That's like $40 cheaper than if I had just gotten the same one at Macy's or wherever they sell it. This is just a gorgeous, powdery, warm fragrance. This is a men's cologne, perfume, whatever you would call it. And the opening is kind of, I'm trying to really remember. It's weird. At first I didn't like it because the opening was just weird. But then after that, it is just this like gorgeous, powdery, creamy, comforting scent that is very unisex for sure. But just like addictive and classy, but also just like cozy and really, really beautiful. So I'm so excited to get this again because I have completely gone through my little sample. Once I really started finding a groove with this one, I just couldn't stop spraying it on myself, and I did run out of it. So I'm excited to be able to really start smelling this again because I got this back in October and it's been a while since I've gotten to smell it. So Dior Homme Intense, I'm so excited that this is gonna be in my collection. The next one is YSL's Libre Intense. This is a very popular designer perfume right now, and I think the Libre line has been one that fragrance lovers especially have enjoyed, that kind of has the seal of approval as like a genuinely good quality designer scent. And it's one that at first I didn't love, because it is unusual. This one's good. It's unusual, but it is really pretty. It's like, it's lavender and vanilla and I think orange blossom. But to me, it's hard to even describe what it smells like. When I smell this, I'm not like, that's vanilla or that's lavender. This is one that when I got COVID, this was the only fragrance I have that I could still smell. So it just has this like, it gave me hope when I got COVID, because I was so scared and like bummed that I couldn't smell anything. And it made me feel like, okay, maybe there's hope I can still be able to smell once this goes away. And now I kind of love it, and I definitely want to own it. I think this just smells very like fancy, expensive. It's the kind of perfume that I would wear if I was like in a dress and I was gonna get dinner. You know, go on a dinner date. This is not a bar date. This isn't something I would wear to a dive bar. It's something I would wear to like an expensive restaurant. It's nice. I really like it. Okay, another one that I really enjoy is the Kayali how is this? Utopia Vanilla Coco 21. I got the sample with my travel spray of the Juicy Apple, and when I smelled it, I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. I wish I had gotten the travel spray of this, because this to me reminds me so much of Hypnotic Poison, actually. And it is just like a really soft, creamy, vanilla coconut perfume. That's like fully what it is. It's more coconutty and more tropical than Hypnotic Poison, and I would say I still prefer Hypnotic Poison. But in the summertime, I feel like layering this with Hypnotic Poison would be like killer, or just anytime. This is just like a really yummy, creamy coconut scent that if you're a vanilla lover, I think you have to check this one out. It's like the perfect summer fragrance for a vanilla lover. And it's one that I do want to get a full size of eventually, because it's just nice, and it definitely is one I'm going to be thinking about when summer comes along. The next one on my list is this sample I actually got, I think, a year ago, and it's Le Fin du Monde. I haven't smelled this in forever. The notes I remember most about it was that it had popcorn and gunpowder. And it was just like, to me, it made me think of that scene in the movie It Follows, where they're in the movie theater. Like, it just gave me that feel. It's a interesting, pleasant scent. It's not necessarily sexy or like anything in particular, but it just like it transported me, the smell of it. And it was just one of my first niche fragrances, and I just really want to smell it again. And I loved it so much that it's one I definitely think I would be happy to have a full size of it, because it was just weird, and I really like, it's been so long that I don't even fully know what it smelled like. So that's one I definitely want to get eventually. I think this brand, Etat Libre d'Orange, is such a cool brand, and I really loved this one. Okay, so here's a little decant travel spray I got from Fragrance Net a month or two ago, and this one is of Gucci Guilty Absolu Parfum. And this one is just like a woody blackberry perfume, basically, and rose. And it's just like a really pretty, darker perfume. You know, it feels kind of like a classy nighttime, kind of sexy. And it's just like, it's very simple, but it's just elegant and like nice. There's like kind of an edge to it, and it's not, but it doesn't feel too young or too, it doesn't feel immature, but it doesn't feel too mature either. It's just kind of like the perfect balance. I really like this, and this is one I would like to own eventually, especially because the bottle's so cute. But I mean, and the scent's really great. The next one that I'd really like to have in my collection is Dior Addict. This is another Dior that I love. It's basically a green floral vanilla perfume, and it's just like very, it does florals in a way that feels very warm and comforting and just like gorgeous. Truly just so gorgeous. And definitely one I want to have in my collection because it's just different than any other vanilla I have. The next one that I'd like to own a full size of is Burberry Her. I got a sample of this, and when I first smelled it, I did not like it at all. I was like, this is way too sweet and just not good. Not something that I wanted to smell like or sit with the scent. But then recently I whipped it out again, and I ended up spraying it on my wrist, and I couldn't stop smelling it. It is very much like this very synthetic, sweet strawberry kind of creamy smell, but it also has that kind of latex glove synthetic thing that is often described when people are talking about Baccarat Rouge 540. This has often been said to be a dupe for that. I wouldn't say it's a dupe, but I would say it has certain similarities, and that it's like a very sweet, airy perfume. But it's also different and does its own thing in how it smells like fake synthetic strawberry, and it's very weird, but it's like also really pretty and fun. I'm almost out of it, and I'm like trying to save it for like getting a good wear out of it again. I just really like this, and I definitely would like to get a full size soon. Okay, another one that I definitely want to get a full size of eventually is Jazz Club from Maison Margiela. I've also completely gone through this one, and this is another kind of more masculine fragrance, but it's very sweet. It's hard to explain, so I think this has like tobacco in it and like different spices. It smells classic to me. There's something about it that smells like it would be a vintage cologne or something. I don't know what it is that it reminds me of, but it does smell like, I don't know, like something that like a very handsome, put together older man would wear. But that being said, I think this would smell good on anyone, whether it be a woman or a younger man. And it's just kind of like a sweet, warm, I don't know if what I'm getting from it is like a spicy smell. I think it is, but it's not hot spicy. It's just like sweet spicy. People have described it as boozy, but I don't like, what does boozy smell like? It's one I really need to smell again, but I really enjoyed it, and obviously I went through all of it pretty quick. And then another one that's really grown on me and that I definitely want to get a full size of around springtime, or maybe even before springtime, is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. When I first got this sample, I was so excited because it was Chanel, but smelling it, to me, it was just so boring. It was like exemplary of exactly the kind of perfume that I had zero interest in when I started getting into fragrances. In that it's just like a very safe, floral, fresh kind of scent. To me, I just found it so boring. However, lately I've been craving something that is like kind of fresh and clean, and this is definitely that. It's just like it's a very refreshing, clean, pretty, put together scent, you know, that you can really wear for anything. It's a great daytime work perfume, but and it's just like really nice. I don't know. So this is one that's grown on me a lot because lately when I smell it, I just find the cleanness very refreshing and nice, because I don't really have a lot of fragrances like that. I usually like stuff that is a little bit heavier, edible and sweet, and just, I don't know. And it's nice to have this one as like a change of pace. Okay, another one, I recently got this sample, and it's for Azzaro Wanted Girl. And this one is just like a pretty, I'm not sure what the notes are. I think it has like some caramel in it, and maybe does it have almond? That's to me what it smells like, is like a sweet almond fragrance. It's nothing amazing, but it's nice. I really like it, and I think it would be a good layering one. It starts out very clean, and then it just turns into this yummy almond perfume to me. And it's also like a really affordable one. It's like a nice affordable one that I don't think a lot of people have. So you can also get it and feel like it's not just like a boring one. Even though it's not like anything insanely unique either. I've smelled the Marc Jacobs Perfect Intense, and I think this is like a better version of that. I prefer this. And this is one I could definitely see myself getting eventually, because it's really nice. Recently, I got some samples from Mason Francis Kirkjohn, and one of them was Baccarat Rouge 540. This is one I definitely need and will eventually have in my collection eventually, because there's just something about it. And honestly, I'm gonna spray it because YOLO. This is such an expensive, pretty, sexy fragrance, in my opinion. Ugh. And it's just unbeatable. Like, it's just this airy, sweet, kind of like burnt sugar, cotton candy smelling fragrance. And it's just like nothing else. There's all kinds of dupes that everyone's always talking about. I have Cloud, which has a similar vibe, but it still doesn't do what this does. Like, this still has something about it that's just more sexy and unique, and like, I don't know. It's very hard to describe. It's one of those scents that's like so itself that it's hard to put into words what it's like, but it's very it's just gorgeous and sexy. Like, this is one that I think too is really great in summertime. I had a dabber of it before I got this sample, and that it sucked that it was a dabber, but I remember I would like dab a little on my neck and stuff and in my hair, and I would get whiffs while I was at work, and it was the best. I've been really trying not to use this too much because I'm like gonna be really sad when it's gone. But this is definitely one on my list that I want to own eventually because it's just stunning and a classic. Oh yeah, speaking of this, you know, with Cloud always being one that people compare to it, I do also want to get Cloud Intense in my collection because I smelled that at Ulta the other day and it's very similar to Cloud, but there was still something a little different about it, and I'd like to have it. The Clouds are really good ones to get, especially if you want to get a vibe for what this is like. Even though it's not the same, it'll still be a nice test run without being too expensive. And it is its own fragrance, so it's not like, so it's still one that I think is worth having in its own right. And then the next sample I got from them that I really wanted to try was Grand Soir. And this one, I'm not sure what the notes are. To me, it makes me think of just like a very rich, manly vanilla. This is so sexy to me. This is like, if a man was wearing this, I would die for him and do anything he wanted me to do. This is like, it smells so like a rich, powerful man, you know? And it has some like cinnamon spices in it. It's like vanilla with some really yummy cinnamon. But then there's like this heaviness and like, it just smells expensive. Almost as if maybe, like almost the way like a cigar would smell, like a really expensive cigar, or there is kind of a tobacco-y smell to it. I don't know if that's one of the notes or not, but it's definitely something I get, and one I'd like to have, and like to, whenever I find a man in my life, I'm gonna make him wear it because it's just like so good. This is, I think, of the Francis Kurkdjian perfumes, this one doesn't get talked about a lot. If you're a guy, you need to try this. Or a girl, because guy fragrances are so good. And this one definitely is unisex still, but like, I just like can't not think about how good this would be on a guy. Oof. And the thing that's really cool about the Francis Kurkdjian, you get 4 samples and it's only like $15 and there's free shipping. I don't know if it's, and I want to continue, like I think I might just rebuy samples for a while since I don't really have the money to get any full sizes from him, but there's other ones I want to try. And then when these run out, I kind of would be into just getting more samples of them because they last really well. And I don't think that $15 for 4 2-milliliter samples is that bad. I think it's 2 milliliters. It might be 1.5. I'm not sure. Either way, to me, it was worth it. And they came surprisingly fast because this was like shipped from frickin' France. And I live in the US and I didn't have to like pay for any extra shipping or anything, so. And then some that I won't go into too much more detail about. I want to get Shalimar Vanilla Planifolia. There's a lot of other words and it's very too much for me. That one just sounds like a cool animalic vanilla that sounds like really sexy and weird. And I need it. I want to try the Olivier Belle Blanche. Also has other words in it that I'm not sure like what to say or what it is, but that one sounds cool. It just sounds like a nice pretty musky perfume, and it came out last year, but it's not available anywhere in America, so I'm kind of confused as to like, where did it come out then? Is it ever gonna come out here? It's literally like one of the most popular brands ever. Like, how is it not here? I also really would like to get Belle Le Parfum, which is like pear vanilla, like the original, but it sounds weirder. It sounds darker and sexier and like a little bit more unusual and just like really intoxicating. To me, Labelle's like stunning and perfect and amazing and like my new obsession. And I think this other one I will like just as much, if not more. So I'm really curious about that one. Which perfumes and stuff do you guys have on your list that you want to eventually have full bottles of? It's something that it sucks because it's just like a constant growing list and it's just not good for my wallet. But I kind of this year I want to get better at like letting myself be excited for fragrances and not constantly feel like I need to get it now. Especially when there's like all these sales constantly or the whole discontinued fears, because I just think at the end of the day it's like it's gonna always be like that. There's constantly going to be sales, there's constantly going to be ones that are getting discontinued and new ones that I'm going to want to try, but like at the end of the day there's always going to be new good ones. So even if there's one that I'm never going to get to have in my collection or never going to get to smell, that's just part of life. And that's also what makes the fragrance thing so exciting, because it is kind of it's like the fact that it's like kind of temporary and it is fleeting, I think makes it more special. And that's cool. So yeah, I don't know. I hope you all have a good day and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.